Evergrande debt holders releasing a statement earlier today after the developer canceled a restructuring deal late last month, saying in part that the inaction will eventually likely lead to the uncontrolled collapse of this group. So joining me now to discuss this complicated dynamic is Brendan Ahern, the Chief Investment Officer at KraneShares. Brendan, it's always great to get your thoughts on what's happening with China. This is a very complicated story with the economy there, trying to emerge from COVID and get back to normal while still battling a real estate crisis. How exactly are things shaping up for that Chinese economy, and is it investable?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Dom. Certainly the economy is muddling through. It's coming back post-zero COVID policy removal. It's just coming back slowly, that the Chinese government's not engaged in helicopter money. They've not sent free checks to people. So the economy is coming back. It's just coming back incrementally, supported by small incremental reforms. We're just not seeing the proverbial policy bazooka because they don't want to create the inflation and budget deficit like we're seeing here in the U.S.
There's also, Brendan, been points in market history over the course of the last couple of decades where when China does enact that kind of a policy, it's seen as a sign of weakness. In other words, they try to take steps to stabilize the situation by injecting liquidity, and people say, well, why are they injecting liquidity? It must be pretty bad. What exactly is that dynamic like right now?
Well, I think it's about supporting the economy. It's just not necessarily overheating the economy by overstimulating that. They're willing to understand it's an economic cycle, and the government is showing some proverbial patience by allowing the economy to come out of this trough. I think investors have a little bit of ADD, want more action faster, and that's maybe led a little bit of the disappointment, but I think it is coming back. And I don't think most people would think that KWEB actually beat the S&P 500 by almost 6 percentage points in Q3. Yes, it's one quarter. I'm just saying it's potentially the start of this bottoming process and maybe Chinese equities rallying further.
How much should investors globally, here in the U.S. and in Europe, other places, be concerned about Evergrande, be concerned about some of the real estate issues happening there? Is this akin, and I'm just asking hypothetically, is this akin to what the U.S. saw with its own housing crisis back in 2007 to 2010?
Yeah. I mean, certainly the greatest policy error by any central banker was the U.S. Federal Reserve allowing Lehman Brothers to declare bankruptcy, sending not only the U.S. economy, but the global economy into recession. Had a terrible effect on the U.S. economy, on people's lives. And the PBOC and Chinese regulators are aware of that policy error, and they're not going to replicate it by allowing a poorly managed company send their economy into crisis. Time and again, the nadering nabobs and negativity say China's about to go off a fiscal cliff, and yet China hasn't had a recession since 1993. They're not going to allow a poorly run company to send their economy into crisis. Yes, it is a problem. It's definitely a problem, but it's receiving a vast amount of attention, and they're just not, it's high. I can't definitively say Evergrande's not going to go bankrupt. I think it will go away. I just think they have to finish all the projects that they've started, and then they will pay for their sins.
And Brendan, one last point here, that the news of the day and this weekend is obviously the tragedy that's happening in Israel, the terrorist attacks there from Hamas and everything else. Do you see China and perhaps specifically President Xi taking a more active role in that particular crisis right now, whether through diplomatic channels, being more visible, perhaps taking steps of their own to try to influence parties to cease the hostilities there?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's just a terrible tragedy that's happened to unarmed civilians in Israel. And our thoughts and prayers are with those people, that many of which we call friends, and for many of my colleagues, family. So, but I think China, you saw after Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer met with President Xi along with 5 other senators, they actually redid their statement around what's this tragedy that took place in Israel. They actually reissued that statement, and I think if China, out of their own economic self-interest, would want to push a path because of their strong economic relationships with Israel, their dependency on commodities, many of which come out of the Middle East. So they could play a bit of a role there, but unfortunately, we know that the next step, the consequence of what's happened in Israel, what's their response, it's just going to be very unfortunate to see this proceed. What we know is going to occur.